Just 1 tablespoon of white vinegar. That's right, a cheap bottle of sticky rice vinegar is all you need to awaken a lemon tree that has been firing blanks for 2 whole years on your balcony. It will turn the tree into a vibrant, blooming machine in just 30 days. These aren't expensive bud-stimulating potions costing hundreds of thousands, nor are they packets of chemical fertilizers with fancy promises on the packaging. It's just a spoonful of the condiment you use to make dipping sauce every day. I know it sounds unbelievable, but bear with me, because what people sell you at exorbitant prices is actually making your tree lazier, and you can completely solve that problem for less than a few cents. The fertilizer sellers have absolutely no reason in the world to tell you that. Experienced lemon farmers in the countryside, simple people, have never wasted money on a shelf full of expensive chemical stimulant bottles. I have witnessed countless people carrying bags of soil up 5 or 6 flights of stairs, nurturing four-season lemon trees and pink lemon trees for 2 or 3 years. The trees are huge, the branches and leaves are lush and green, but absolutely not a single flower bud appears. And I will tell you exactly in the middle of this video how to force that stubborn tree to bloom brilliantly, how to awaken its survival instinct using a rustic technique that previous gardeners used at a dirt-cheap cost. Right on your sunny and windy terrace, I remember a close friend of mine in Saigon growing a pink lemon tree on his third-floor terrace. For 2 years, he applied all kinds of expensive fertilizers and watered it twice a day without missing a drop. The lemon tree was towering, its branches stretching far, its leaves as glossy as if greased. But when he asked a veteran gardener, the older man didn't panic at all. He told him to immediately stop watering, grab some wood ash to sprinkle on it, and go to the kitchen to get the exact bottle of white vinegar used for daily salad dressing to mix into a watering can. 30 days later, the first clusters of buds emerged from the dense leaf axils like grains of rice. The lemon tree had finally bloomed brilliantly. At that time, my friend didn't understand. He only knew that it worked, cost nothing, and it seemed no urban plant shop wanted him to know about it. First, let's talk about choosing the variety. Prioritize choosing local limes, pink lemons, four-season lemons, or if you like novelty, you can try your hand at finger limes, especially four-season lemons and pink lemons. They are extremely suitable for container gardening conditions on balconies and terraces, growing vigorously and blooming very frequently. And be sure to buy grafted trees from reputable nurseries. Now we will diagnose your lemon tree. Why does it only produce leaves but refuse to flower? The first and most common mistake is the abuse of fertilizers, specifically the over-application of nitrogen. When first planting, out of impatience for the tree to grow quickly, you go to the agricultural supply store, buy synthetic fertilizer packets meant for general ornamental plants, or apply a lot of urea fertilizer and uncomposted fresh cow manure. These types of fertilizers contain massive amounts of nitrogen. When you pump a large amount of nitrogen into the pot, the lemon tree grows rapidly and looks lush and green. But unfortunately, when all the energy is channeled into vegetative growth, meaning nourishing leaves and branches, the tree will completely ignore reproductive growth, which is reproducing, flowering, and fruiting. That is exactly why your tree is lush but fails to bloom. The second mistake relates to the pot. Many of you accidentally choose to buy black plastic pots because they look clean or are cheap, but black absorbs heat terribly. Under the scorching sun of a summer terrace, the heat from the sun is entirely absorbed by the black pot and transferred directly into the soil mass. The root system of the lemon tree, which is inherently fragile and prefers coolness, is literally being boiled. When the roots are damaged by heat, the tree falls into a state of hidden exhaustion, and the roots cannot absorb nutrients. And naturally, how can a tree struggling to survive due to root burn have the energy to flower? Additionally, the size of the pot and the quality of the soil also determine the tree's fate. For a lemon tree to thrive long-term, you need a pot with a diameter of at least 50 centimeters or a capacity of 50 liters or more. A wide pot is more important than a deep pot because lemon roots tend to spread horizontally more. The bottom of the pot must have plenty of drainage holes because lemons absolutely hate being waterlogged. Just a few days of stagnant water will cause the roots to rot, leaves to yellow, and the tree to die very quickly. As for the potting soil, store-bought soil often becomes quite compacted after a period of watering. Soil for terrace gardening requires maximum aeration for the roots to breathe. You must mix in crushed, soaked coal cinder or perlite into the base soil, making up about 30% of the volume. This combination ensures that when you water, it drains immediately out the bottom, keeping the soil consistently moist but never soggy. All right, there is nothing to worry about. In this video, I will clearly show you the steps to help your lemon tree set fruit immediately. The first step in the 30-day campaign, cut off nitrogen immediately. We already know nitrogen is the reason the tree is lazy to reproduce. So the first thing is to completely stop applying nitrogen-rich fertilizers. No fresh cow manure, no urea, no nitrogen-rich foliar sprays. Instead, we will switch to a specialized maternity menu, which is a diet rich in phosphorus and potassium. Phosphorus is the master key to unlocking the flowering door for fruit trees. Without phosphorus, the tree will never bud. The best and cheapest natural source of phosphorus is bone meal. If you don't have bone meal, you can use bat guano or superphosphate once every 15 days. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons of bone meal or bat guano around the base of the tree, about a hand span away from the trunk, then lightly rake it so the fertilizer mixes into the topsoil. Next is potassium. It helps the flower stalks become tougher, the flowers larger, and most importantly, keeps the young fruit from dropping after pollination. The cheapest and most effective thing to provide potassium is wood ash. That gray ash from burning firewood and straw is pure gold for a lemon tree. Every 10 to 15 days, sprinkle a tablespoon of wood ash on the surface of the pot. You can also supplement with steeped worm casting tea or composted cow manure tea, watering it once a month to provide necessary micronutrients and beneficial microflora for the soil. The next step, we need a massive push, the art of water stressing. This is the most important part, I repeat, the most important part that determines the success or failure of the entire process. Observe your tree very closely. Stop watering the lemon tree. Then by the 3rd or 4th day, the soil surface will start to become bone dry. By the 5th or 6th day, you will see the lemon leaves begin to lose their shine. And by about the 7th or 8th day, during the hottest time at noon, you will see a phenomenon. The lemon leaves will start to droop slightly, and the 2 edges of the leaves will fold slightly inward toward each other. The tree looks tired. It is feeling the pressure of survival. When you see the leaves fold at noon, you are only allowed to drip irrigate, splashing an extremely small amount of water, just enough to keep the tree from drying out and dying so the feeder roots don't burn. The amount of water should only be 1/10 of the normal watering amount. The tree will absorb that tiny bit of water. The leaves will perk up slightly at night, but then continue to droop the following noon. Maintain this half-alive, half-thirsty state continuously for 15 days. After those 15 days of strict water stressing, we enter the explosive phase. Return to normal watering. On the first day, water it thoroughly, letting the water run freely through the drainage holes at the bottom of the pot. Immediately after that, apply a large dose of bone meal, bat guano, and wood ash. The tree, which has been dying of thirst, suddenly receives a refreshing stream of water and a massive energy source from phosphorus and potassium. The hormonal signals within the tree change abruptly. All the energy accumulated over the past 15 days will be powerfully pushed to the leaf nodes, and just 10 to 15 days after you resume watering, you will see miracles. From the leaf axils, instead of the familiar pointy green shoots, plump, round little nubs will start to emerge. Those are the first flower buds. You have succeeded. But there is still one extremely important final step that I call the magic potion from the kitchen. That is adjusting the pH level with white vinegar. Did you know we usually water our plants with tap water? Tap water in urban areas is often slightly alkaline due to containing a lot of calcium and water treatment minerals. Over 2 years of accumulation, the soil in your pot will gradually become alkalized, meaning the pH level rises above 7.0. Lemons are plants that prefer slightly acidic soil. The most ideal pH level is between 5.5 and 6.5. When the soil becomes alkalized, a disastrous phenomenon called nutrient lockout occurs. You can pour piles of bone meal and bat guano into the pot, but the tree's roots are completely blindfolded, unable to absorb the iron, zinc, and necessary micronutrients to nourish the flowers and fruit. The tree will stall, the leaves will become spotty yellow, and the flower buds will shrivel and drop in droves before they even have a chance to open. To solve this problem, you don't need to buy expensive chemicals. Go to the kitchen and grab the bottle of white vinegar you use for daily cooking. The formula is extremely simple. Mix 1 tablespoon of white vinegar into 2 liters of clean water. Drench the potting soil with this solution, doing this exactly once a month. White vinegar is mildly acidic. It will slowly dissolve the calcium deposits accumulated in the soil, pulling the pH down to the ideal level safely and naturally. The soil is liberated and the tree roots spread out, rapidly absorbing nutrients. Just 1 tablespoon of white vinegar a month, but it is the key that throws wide open the door of nutrition for your lemon tree. Remember carefully once a month. Do not overdo it. So we have gone through the complete 30-day campaign with 3 core changes: changing the menu to stop nitrogen, applying the 15-day water stressing art to awaken the survival instinct, and balancing the pH with white vinegar. I guarantee that with these 3 steps, even the most stubborn lemon tree will have to surrender and push out buds. However, flowering is only half the journey. For the flowers to set fruit, the fruit to grow quickly, the branches and leaves to be lush and balanced, and the yield to reach its maximum, I will reveal to you 3 more golden tips. 3 top-tier techniques specifically for growing potted lemons. Golden tip number 1, pruning technique. A tree that only grows straight up will not have lateral branches, which means there is no place for flowers to bloom. The solution here is that you must boldly pinch off the top. When the lemon tree is about 60 to 80 centimeters tall, close your eyes and take your scissors to snip off the top, right above a pair of leaves. This action immediately breaks the apical dominance. The sap is blocked, unable to be pumped higher, and is forced to stagnate and burst out at the lower leaf axils. The tree will produce 3 to 4 branches reaching horizontally. When these lateral branches grow to about 30 centimeters long, continue to pinch their tips once more. Just like that, from a single vertical trunk, you create a short, stubby lemon tree with a round, umbrella-like canopy, densely packed with twigs and lateral branches. And oh my, on those dozens of lush lateral branches, just looking at them is a feast for the eyes. Any branch that shoots straight up past the canopy, cut it off mercilessly to save energy for the lateral branches to blossom and bear fruit. Golden tip number 2, the art of keeping the roots slightly cramped. Another common mentality is that we always want to give our plants a very spacious home. Whenever we see the plant grow a little, we rush to buy a massive pot to repot it. This mindset is not wrong for foliage plants, but for potted fruit trees, it is a mistake. When you plant a lemon tree in a pot that is too large for the size of its root ball, the roots will diligently run off to explore the new territory and completely forget their mission to flower. Not only that, a pot that is too big will hold too much excess water, and the young roots won't be able to absorb it in time, leading to an extremely high risk of localized root rot. The secret here is to let the lemon tree's roots feel a bit cramped. When the root system crawls out, touches the wall of the pot, and gently coils, this moderate level of root binding is a natural catalyst that forces the tree to reproduce extremely effectively. So when should you repot? Only when you see the following 3 signs. 1, the feeder roots are poking right out of the drainage holes at the bottom. 2, when you water, the water runs straight down to the bottom immediately without pooling at all on the soil because the root ball is too densely packed. 3, the tree is too top-heavy and a light breeze threatens to topple it over. Only then should you proceed to repot. And remember, when repotting, only increase the pot size by a maximum of 25% compared to the old one. Going from a 40 centimeter diameter pot to a 50 centimeter one is enough. Additionally, I must reiterate that direct sunlight is a vital condition for all living things, especially fruit trees. All the water stressing, fertilizing, pruning, or pollinating techniques I just shared will be rendered meaningless and go completely down the drain if your lemon tree is placed in the shade. Lemon trees crave sunlight. They need to bask in direct sunlight for at least 6 to 8 hours a day to photosynthesize, synthesize sugars, and grow flowers and fruits. Without sunlight, they will never set fruit. Rotate the lemon tree pot regularly every 2 weeks so that all sides of the canopy receive even sunlight. Next is the phenomenon of physiological young fruit drop. After the flowers are pollinated, the lemons grow to the size of a chopstick tip or a bean, and then suddenly a massive drop occurs across the branches. Clusters of 5 to 7 young fruits are suddenly reduced to just 1 or 2. Do not panic and do not frantically rush out to buy anti-fruit drop sprays. This is completely normal. It is the wisdom of nature. The tree is an incredibly smart calculating machine. It knows exactly how much nutrition and water its roots can provide. If it tries to keep all 100 young fruits, the result will be 100 stunted fruits that drain the mother tree's energy, and none will fully ripen to produce healthy seeds. Therefore, the tree automatically eliminates the weak fruits and those in shaded positions, cutting off their nutrient supply so they drop off. It focuses all its essence on nourishing the 30 healthiest fruits so they can grow large, round, and plump with juice. When you see young fruits dropping, your job is not to feel sorry for them, but to maintain regular watering. Do not let the tree lack water at this stage, because a water shortage during fruit development will cause the remaining healthy fruits to drop. And continue to regularly apply bat guano and wood ash every month to fuel the fruit's rapid growth. Our 30-day journey to rescue a barren lemon tree has been clearly mapped out, from withholding nitrogen to a dramatic 15-day water stress period, regulating pH with vinegar, and tip pruning techniques. All of these are the essence distilled from sweat and countless failed experiments. And if you apply this 30-day process, please come back here in a month to report your results. I read every single comment without exception. Your success is the greatest source of motivation for me to continue researching and sharing. If these secrets help your garden become greener and more fruitful, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. We are working alongside you to unearth forgotten gardening methods to plant a lush, green future. The next treasure trove of knowledge will be open soon, so don't miss it.